Well, hi, South Africa. Here's another edition of Anchor Point with myself, Naledi Moleo. All right, guys, so we are just weeks away from getting into these local government elections. The 4th of November, really around the corner. And it's, of course, that time when the voters are really starting to look closely at the candidates that are being fielded by the political parties. They're looking at the problems in their communities, and they're really starting to formulate and even discuss amongst themselves, who are you voting for? Where are you putting your X on the 4th of November so that we improve the communities that we live in? It's an important discussion. So political parties, for the most part, understand the importance of it, right? They've put forward their best candidates according to them. Not just that, we started to also hear the candidates' messages, right? Their strategy for their local government. And not just that, that really vying for your vote. They're saying, choose me to help me fix and run your city. It's a good thing for political parties to do. Most of them have. Now, I say most because the ANC hasn't quite caught up with what other political parties are doing ahead of these elections. This is what happened this weekend. This weekend, the ANC called the media all in sunder and said, come along, we're going to show you who our mayoral candidates are, particularly for the metros in the country. So we all ran along and wanted to hear who these candidates are going to be. That didn't happen because the ANC hit us with a surprise. Instead of giving us their mayoral candidates, they gave us 42 individuals that are options for mayoral candidates at this hour, at this stage, at getting close to those elections. 42 candidates is what they gave us, right? And I want to actually go through the numbers of these candidates because if we look at Gauteng alone, it's an astonishing number of candidates for just one province. You've got 3 candidates for the city of Johannesburg, 6 candidates for the city of Tshwane, 4 candidates for the city of Ekurhuleni. Again, I need to clarify this. These aren't candidates. These are options for mayoral candidates. It's a little bit of a cliffhanger, and it's a little bit confusing, to be quite honest with you. The ANC is saying, we're going to let you know in September who your mayoral candidates actually are. So just hold on a second, we'll get there. So, South Africans again wait with bated breath. They hope that once the ANC does field their candidates, we've got time to hear what their message is, what their strategy is, and why we should vote for that particular individual. Now, Gauteng is a particularly interesting case, right? Because you've got 3 very important metros, so Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, and Tshwane. Incredibly important what any party does in those metros. And if you're living in those metros, you know as well why it's important for them to function. Now, just days after the ANC gave us 42 candidates for 8 metros in the country, and how many is it? 13 candidates for Gauteng alone, they then, in the same breath, just days apart, start talking about possibly merging Ekurhuleni, Johannesburg, and Tshwane. Now, help me make sense of that. You've got 13 candidates that are vying for 3 metros, but you're also talking about just making it one big metro. If that isn't a contradiction, guys, I have no idea what a real contradiction actually is, right? Let's not forget that the messaging of the ANC for many years has been Batho, the people first, right? That's their messaging. The ANC thinks about the people first. But when you start talking about a mega metro that puts Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, and Tshwane together, are you in fact not moving further away from the people? Because the whole point of local government, my understanding anyway, is that the closer you are to the people that you serve, the better you are at actually being able to serve them. Right? There isn't a resident of Ivory Park or Alexandra who wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, today's the day that I hope that someone in this province just rationalizes the metropolitan governance architecture of Gauteng. Nobody's waking up and thinking that. I can assure you that's not happening. Because the residents of all 3 of these metros, and this is whether you're in suburbs or in the township, it really doesn't matter. The residents of all 3 in these metros wake up and think, I wonder if there's water in my tap today. I wonder if they fixed that pothole that almost ruined my car yesterday morning. I wonder if the power will stay on long enough for my children to be able to finish their schoolwork. All of those questions are the real questions that residents of those three metros are actually thinking about. So perhaps the ANC should go back to its mantra, Batubili, and really think about what it actually means. Because fixing the tap, I can assure you, for residents is more important than redrawing the map. So let's get that right, and let's do it quickly because the time is ticking.